course, we just learned yesterday the province is speeding up its timeline when it comes to reopening. So as of Thursday, capacity limits are going to be lifted in all settings where proof of vaccination is required. That includes places like gyms, restaurants, and theaters. The Vaccination Certificate program, it is set to be eliminated as of March 1st. Many sectors are hoping this is going to be the final reopening of this pandemic, and many cities as well, hoping that, especially border towns like Niagara Falls. Joining us live this morning with more on that is the mayor of Niagara Falls, Jim Diodati. Mayor Diodati, thanks for joining us this morning. Your reaction to the speeding up of the reopening timeline. I know how much you rely on sort of entertainment industries for your economy.
Well, good morning, Nick. And yeah, we're really happy about this. This past weekend, we did have Valentine's. It was a good weekend. Niagara Falls has been just absolutely devastated by COVID. Tourism, as Minister McLeod said, is like the canary in the coal mine, hit first and hit hardest. 40,000 people count on tourism to feed their families here in Niagara Falls. So we're grateful. This weekend, we're going to be full capacity for Family Day weekend, and that'll include the casinos, the attractions, the restaurants. And I can tell you, I did speak to a number of hotel owners. They're just so grateful. Their bookings are up. And for anybody looking, there's some great deals right now in Niagara Falls because everybody's anxious to fill and to get the people and to fill the economy.
So they want the people there clearly, but do they have the people employed to manage all the people that may be arriving, Mayor Diodati? We heard about, the casinos, the restaurants, bars, et cetera, that have lost people because of the pandemic. They've found other work. Are you aware that people are staffing up and able to manage all this?
Yeah, it's been a challenge, the great resignation, as they call it. Many people have left hospitality. They couldn't handle the uncertainty. But I can tell you, everyone that I spoke to, they're ready. They're excited. They've got people in place. I'm sure there's going to be some bumps along the way, but that's to be expected. They're just so happy and grateful. And the people, they told me, coming to the city, their smiles ear to ear, things that we always took for granted now we're so grateful for. The simple pleasures, just getting out with the family, getting to a movie, having some dinner, and coming to Niagara Falls. So yeah, it'll be a few challenges, but I can tell you too, people should rest assured, we do have safetoplay.ca and safetostay.ca, where we've gone above provincial protocols to make sure everybody will be safe. We're still taking this serious. We're just going to be able to lift our guard just a little bit and have some fun this weekend.
Yeah, the reassurance, I'm sure, is going to be an important element to people coming back. Mayor, I want to also talk to you. Obviously, you're a border town mayor. You saw what unfolded, at the Ambassador Bridge over the weekend and over the last week or so. You saw the threats in Sarnia. You've seen what's happening in Coutts, Alberta, et cetera. What has happened, if anything, at and around the Rainbow Bridge in Niagara Falls, and how sort of prepared are you, or is the city sort of for any potential issues at the border?
Well, we've got 4 international crossings here in Niagara. We've got the Peace Bridge, Rainbow Bridge, Whirlpool, and Queenston-Lewiston. And typically in a traditional year, we'll get 2 million trucks, 10 million cars. So it is very significant for travel and trade. I do have to tip my hat to all the police. They've done an outstanding job at walking that fine balance. And although I think most Canadians share the frustrations with all the pandemic restrictions, we don't all necessarily agree with the tactics that all protesters have utilized. I think it's time. I mean, it's disrupted supply chains. There's empty shelves at grocery stores. You've been heard. The message is out there. Now I'm just grateful that the province, and I understand the federal government's got some announcements coming as well in regard to the border. I'm glad that they're loosening some of the restrictions. And in the meantime, we keep a close eye on those borders. As I mentioned, Nick, we've had 2 devastating summers. We really need this coming summer season to be good for tourism. A lot of people are really counting on it, as I say, to feed their families.
And just to pick up on the fact that, you talk to your counterparts across the border as well, Mayor Diodati. What were you hearing from them over the last couple of weeks? Particularly, I'm sure they were honing in on that situation at the Ambassador Bridge. What did you hear from the American officials when you talked to them about, Canada-America trade, et cetera?
Well, you're exactly right, and I do stay in touch with all the cross-border mayors, quite a few U.S. mayors as well. All the Ontario cross-border mayors, we do talk regularly, and Mayor Dilkins in Windsor as well, of course. And I can tell you on the U.S. side, they were concerned because a lot of truckers were looking to avoid the Ambassador Bridge, the Blue Water Bridge, and come this way and cross into Niagara. So we were worried that there'd be too much congestion on our end, and then we did have some potential protests that, of course, the police were ahead of the protests, and they were prepared and proactive, so we were fine. But we're all concerned because we realize it's travel, it's trade. Those are a lifeline for many of us, and we can't afford to have them closed down. And we respect the right to protest 100%. We're a democratic country, but you can't infringe on the rights of others. People need to work, people need to eat, and it's important that we walk that fine balance.
All right, they'll be eating and working and playing in the falls over the weekend. That's Niagara Falls Mayor Jim Diodati. Appreciate the time this morning. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Nick.